Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Student shot by licensed firearm holder in St. Thomas. A student at the St. Thomas Technical High School was shot and injured by a licensed firearm holder Tuesday afternoon. Head of the St. Thomas Police Superintendent Alison Byfield confirmed the incident and said the injured student had been admitted to hospital. The incident reportedly occurred outside the school gate, reporters were told. The student is in stable condition, and a statement is being recorded from the licensed firearm holder, Superintendent Byfield reported. It was reported that the licensed firearm holder was driving along the main road near the school when he saw a group of boys fighting. He reportedly intervened when one of the boys used a knife to stab at another. The licensed firearm holder reportedly discharged his weapon in the ground in a bid to calm the situation. The two boys subsequently fell and he noticed that one was bleeding. He subsequently rushed him to the hospital. Body found with throat slash in St. Catherine, suspect's home set on fire. The Spanish Town police have arrested one person who is believed to be the main suspect in the murder of a man whose body was found with the throat slash along Salt Pond River in St. Catherine on Tuesday morning. Residents torched the suspect's home, which was not occupied at the time, in a fit of anger before the cops made arrests. The identity of the victim has not yet been disclosed by the police. Reports are that the victim's brother discovered the body after he went looking for him yesterday morning when he did not return home. The body was found about 7:30 a.m. on Tuesday. The guilty discovery slowed traffic in the area. Traffic diverted from the Spanish Town bypass as forensic investigators combed the area for evidence. Ex-cop charged with murder granted $1 million bail. A former policeman who is charged with murder arising from an incident in 2013 in Glendavon, St. James, was granted bail. Romain Edwards was offered bail in the sum of $1 million, with surety, and is to appear in the St. James Parish Court on Friday. The application was made in chambers at the Supreme Court in Kingston. It is being alleged that Edwards, who was a member of a joint police-military operation in October 2013, shot and killed Tessin Christie, who ran into a house when he saw the party approaching. Attorney at law Hugh Wildman, in making the bail application, said his client has given a detailed report that the deceased fired at him when he went into the house and he fired in self-defense. Wildman referred to the ballistics report, which stated that the firearm retrieved from the deceased was recently fired. There was an elevated trace of gunpowder residue on the deceased's hand. He argued that the prosecution cannot negate self-defense. He told the court that Edwards' life was in danger while in custody, pointing out that last week he had to be taken to hospital because he was badly beaten by other prisoners. Wildman further told the court that the accused fled Canada after the incident because of death threats. He was interviewed in Canada by officers of the Independent Commission of Investigations. The Director of Public Prosecution ruled in September last year that Edwards should be charged. Edwards returned to Jamaica on December 30 and was arrested and charged. A bail application was made in the St. James Parish Court last week Friday, but bail was denied on the basis that Edwards was a flight risk, so Wildman applied to the Supreme Court for bail. Justice Andrea Collins heard the application and granted bail. Opposition accuses FSC of dropping the ball in SSL matter. The opposition People's National Party is expressing concerns about what it says is the apparent failure of the Financial Services Commission (FSC) to provide adequate regulatory oversight of companies operating in the non-deposit-taking financial services industry. It made the remarks on Tuesday amid the deep probe into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at investment firm Stocks and Security Limited. In a statement, the PNP said the recent media report have caused Jamaicans to become concerned about the safety of their funds at these companies. In the case of one financial institution, it is now clear that the FSC had grave concern about the operations of the company going back several years, yet a massive fraud has come to light, which apparently has been going on for the past several years. This emerging situation is negatively impacting Jamaica's reputation, both locally and internationally, the opposition stated. However, the opposition says the country needs to know what steps were taken by the FSC to address those serious issues then identified, and those concerns seem to have been effectively ignored. This failure of effective regulatory oversight has been to the detriment of members of the public who had their hard-earned saving invested there, the opposition stated. It added that the financial services industry operates on the principles of trust and confidence, and that the repository of the country's saving and the facilitator of capital for investment, and it is absolutely essential that there is effective regulatory oversight in the industry. The opposition said it is calling on the government to break its silence and tell the nation what it's doing to restore confidence to this critical sector of the economy.
Well, based on the media reports, the issues related to one particular financial institution seems to go back a number of years. And the FSD had grave concerns about the operations of the institution. It's not apparent what actions were taken to ensure that the issues that were raised were dealt with. And now we're hearing of this massive fraud, which seems to be going back a number of years. Now, it's important, the issues are not just about one institution. We're hearing about fraud in a number of institutions. In the last couple of weeks, there have been three very high profile cases. And that is causing great anxiety among people who have invested their hard earned money in some of these financial institutions. So I'm calling on the government to ensure that the FSD has the capacity to effectively provide the oversight. And by capacity, it means financial resources, it means the technical expertise so that it can assess what it is going on, and then the regulatory teeth that it can take action where companies don't comply with its directives. It is important that we maintain confidence in our financial services sector, and what has taken place has not just affected Jamaica locally, but because of Usain Bolt being a victim, that news has gone abroad internationally. And so we have to preserve our very hard-earned reputation as a place that people can safely invest in and get back their monies.
Government says efforts continue to reduce maternal deaths. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says efforts continue to reduce the number of maternal deaths recorded in the country. Speaking during the launch of the Start Right Maternal and Newborn Care Program in Kingston on Monday, he said, while Jamaica has not achieved its goal of reducing maternal deaths as they continue to fluctuate, the ministry continues to work towards it.
In Jamaica, we are trying to reduce our maternal mortality ratio to 70 per 100,000 live births by the year 2030. We're some ways from that. I am told, are 110 per 100,000. In 2016, we had gone down to 93.5 per 100,000 in 2018, and the preliminary data in 2019-2020, those terrible COVID years suggest that it has inched back up. I don't have the specific number. But that's something that we have to keep working towards. So it's a target that we have not yet achieved, but I think we have it in us to make that achievement possible.
Shock and anger, Clark disgusted by evil fraud allegations at SSL. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark is expressing shock and anger at the multi-million-dollar fraud allegations at Stock and Securities Limited SSL. In a statement late Tuesday, Clark said, like all Jamaicans, I am in shock and feel a profound level of anger and disgust at the alarming and evil fraud that has allegedly been committed at Stocks and Securities Limited and which is a source of public disgust and anxiety at this time. However, the Finance Minister noted that he has great confidence in the investigative authorities to unravel all aspects of the alleged fraud and bring all perpetrators to justice. Clark also sought to assure investors that Jamaica's financial service remains strong. At this time, it is tempting to doubt our financial institutions, but I would ask that we don't paint an entire hardworking industry with the brush of a few very dishonest individuals, Clark said, adding that Jamaica is leading financial center in the English-speaking Caribbean, and we will do everything in our power to protect Jamaica's position in this regard. Clark's remarks come against the background of a deepened probe into the multi-million-dollar fraud scandal. The Fraud Squad and Financial Investigations Division FID announced on Monday that questionable transactions were being made on some of the affected accounts at SSL for more than a decade, stating that the matter is being treated with the highest priority by the FID and the Fraud Squad and the FSC. Cyril Hall, the FDI's Chief Technical Director, said they are not yet able to quantify the exact amount fleeced from the affected accounts. Among the affected investors, Sprint legend Usain Bolt earlier Tuesday gave the principals of SSL a 10-day ultimatum to return the millions of US dollars that he has been defrauded, reportedly, by an SSL employee or else face legal action. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell